I can't believe it. It's finally here. Something I have been dreaming about for a while, and that is to tell the story, the rich history of Carfagna's. Hi, it's Boxer, along with Sal Carfagna here of Carfagna's, and Tom, who you might know him from the wine shop. Gentlemen, good to have you here. Welcome to the first episode of Uncorked.
Thank you, Boxer.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Very happy to be here. We appreciate you guys coming in and being willing to do this with us. We are so excited to not only have you guys in and talk about the family history, our products that we have to offer, but allow the Columbus audience, Central Ohio audience, to have a little peek behind the curtain of Carfagna's, what goes on here on a daily basis at our shop, and talk about some of our family history, the products, the history of these products that we have to offer. It's so rich. There's so many things to talk about. So,
and look at that! There we go!
Uncorked!
The official sound effect for Uncorked right there. Now we can get things going. Good job, Tom. That caught me by surprise.
Ready, fire, aim.
Whoa, where'd that come from? Well, look, Sal, you weren't kidding. I mean, we're starting this first episode off with a bang. I mean, we have food, we have sauces, we have pizza here, we have wine that Tom, I know, is going to talk about. One of the first things, considering we just did the Uncorked thing, where do we even go first? Because there's so much to talk about. Maybe we should start with what Uncorked is going to be about.
So Uncorked is going to be, each episode, we are going to be featuring product that we're going to have. Today we're going to be talking about our pizzas that we serve at the restaurant and in the market. We're going to be talking about the development of our dough, the history about that. We're going to make a little sauce here. We're going to do a little pizza sauce tutorial for the people listening. We're going to talk about the products that we're going to use here. We're then going to segue into our cannoli. We're going to talk about the cannoli, the development of that. Everybody loves a good cannoli, and Carfagna's cannoli. I'm a little unbiased, but we're best in the city.
I felt like I could smell them coming in, too. Well, I mean, you've got the bakery right there and the goodies, the desserts as soon as you walk in. So
absolutely,
it's hard not to miss it. So
yes, correct. Tom's here. We're gonna be talking about some wine. The uncorking that you guys just heard, we just popped a bottle of Prosecco. This is our first podcast, right? We're going to celebrate this. We're going to pour out a little bubbly. We're going to talk about this Prosecco that we're going to be drinking here and enjoying. And from there, the wines that we're going to be featuring on this first podcast, it would only be right to talk about our house wines. And wines plural, our house wines. We have a number of private label wines that we have here. Tom's going to be talking about the flavor profiles of them, the history about the development of these wines, the partners that we have, and the entire process about everything, because there is a lot that goes into just having these wines available on the shelf here for you guys in Central Ohio. These wines do come from Italy, and they do come from California. So there's a great variety here ahead. There's not a bad bottle here, and we're going to talk about why that is in a little bit here. But
Sal, how much are we drinking? Because I'm a lightweight, so I should just forewarn you.
So there's no judgment zone.
Okay, all right. So should we get started with the wine first, the Prosecco?
Tom, you ready to pour them out, brother?
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Tom's going to start pouring some Prosecco here.
I'll listen to that.
This is from northern Italy, where this Prosecco comes from. It is not too dry for people. It's not a sweet wine either. It's kind of right in the middle. Makes a very nice mimosa if you want to go that direction. This wine will be refreshing at about any event that you want to have. We have sold this particular Prosecco for quite a long time here at Carfagna's, and it is probably our top-selling Prosecco.
I was just going to ask, what are your top selling, we're talking about Prosecco, but wines in general, what are, and by the way, your wine club is exploding, isn't it, here at Carfagna's?
Yeah, we're very, extremely happy about that. We have over 600 members now. It keeps growing. People come in, they have wine, they do a tasting, take some wine home, they go and have dinner in the restaurant. They go and shop in the market and see new things. And so it has been a journey for us, and we are happy that it's exploding the way it is.
There's no reason you can't live here. I mean, you just hop around to the different areas of Carfagna's.
Oh, hours. You can spend hours here. Yes, there's a lot to see here.
You know, I have had customers ask if they can sleep on the bags of flour here. So that's about as best as we can do as a cot. You know, don't have any cots in the back room, but I do have bags of flour if you would like to sleep on those. But the wine club, I'm just going to give Tom a real quick kudos.
Yeah.
He has been the lead man for these wine clubs and has been an integral part of the development of the wine club and curating all of these wines for these people. So for those of you who don't know about our wine club, the wine club is a monthly subscription. Within that subscription, you get to take home 2 bottles of wine. You also get to have 2 wine tastings per adult. So each wine club subscription, it's good for a single household has 2 adults. That's how we count it. And each adult has 2 tastings. We encourage the wine club members to bring in their friends, their family, business partners, associates, anybody that they want to experience these wines. What differentiates our wine club from other wine clubs in the city is we have wines from all over the world. These are not just private label wines that we are sampling out and people come in and it's the same wines. Every single month, all of our tastings change. And Tom, eight different flights available?
8 different flights, and we got about 1,500 different wines on the shelf to choose for those 8 flights. Sometimes we bring some stuff in. The only place in Ohio you could get them is here. So there's a lot of unique stuff that we put out on our flights that you just don't get other places.
I was going to say, that's hard to come by because I've seen other wine clubs, and I don't know a whole lot of places that have wine from all over the world, but I know you guys do, which is pretty impressive.
Yes, and Tom mentioned the exclusivity about them, and there is some wines in there that the only place that you can get them in Ohio and sometimes even the United States are right here at Carfagna's Wine Shop. And that is in thanks to our wine director, Raj Hora, who goes out and develops these relationships with the winemakers.
Wow.
And has that exclusivity that these wines are so unique that we are literally the only place that they can get these wines outside of the winery sometimes. You know, you can only get these wines either at the winery or Carfagna's.
Yeah.
You know, but the wine club especially does a very good job of finding these wines and then bringing them to the people. So your wine club, we have 2 different levels. We have a cork and a cellar club. The cellar club is a little bit more high end. The cork club is you know, our first level, I would say. And with each wine club membership, you get to choose. If you like white wines, you can do white wine. If you like red wine, you can just do red. You can do a mix, 1 bottle of white, 1 bottle of red. If you prefer sweet wines, we have a sweet wine option. If you prefer sparkling wines, we have a sparkling wine option. So each month, whichever club that you are enrolled in,
right,
you'll get those 2 bottles. Those 2 bottles, again, they switch up every single month. And then you also get your flights. So you get to come in. So technically, you get about 4 flights per month.
Yeah.
And it's a huge value for people. They come in, they will have a nice little wine flight, either before they're shopping. Saturday mornings is always a great time for people to come in and try out the wines on the wine flights before they shop.
Yeah.
You know, or before dinner or lunch, they'll come in and have a nice wine flight. In each flight, Tom, talk about how many glasses they get, the pours
5,
on those.
You get 5 pours on each flight. Depending on which flight you pick, you're not limited to, say you like red wine and that's the club you're in. You're not limited to just the reds. You can do reds, you can do white, you can do a sparkling tasting. You have 5 pours of whatever that tasting is. Wines that we have picked and are up on the shelf.
Yeah.
And we bring the bottles down, explain the bottles, explain the wine, what the history is. So you gain a little knowledge. We don't go too far over your head if you don't want to. So you're just standing there nodding your head. But we make it very immersive, and it tends to be a very social counter. You'll probably make new friends.
Oh, I've
standing
seen
right
it.
next to- Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
that social
Very
setting.
yes.
Well, what do you, gentlemen, what do you suggest for a first timer that's not familiar with the wine club? would you say the lower tier, the lower level to start with? Or?
Either one.
Okay.
Either one. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. The cellar is like the next level up. So if that's how you choose, you want to be part of that, that's fine. You can start that way. You can change if you're in the red club and you want to go to the sparkling club. You just let me know when you come in for your tasting. And then next month, we'll put you in the sparkling. So if you want to be a little variety, you can do that. You can move around a little bit. We just need to know just a touch in advance, not the last week, because the orders are already in for the next month at that point.
Well, gentlemen, should we try some of this Prosecco?
Absolutely.
Should we try it?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. All right. There you go, Tom. Did you get yours, Tom?
Go
Did
ahead.
you? There. Okay. All right. So, gentlemen, why don't you explain this one?
So when we taste wine, we like to first look at the color of it. It's always nice to have a white piece of paper, a white background, to really look at the color of the wine.
Yeah.
This wine has a very nice, I would say, almost like a golden, very light golden hue to it. Almost like a white grape kind of hue. Then you're gonna give it a nice swirl, like Boxer's doing, an experienced vet on this wine tasting.
Giving it a swirl.
He's giving it a nice little swirl, and then you'll smell the wine. I'm getting apples on that. I'm getting white grape.
Okay, I can see that. I can smell that.
Then you're gonna give it a nice little taste.
That apple's definitely there. So taste it a little, if you can. Take a little air, go over your palate of the wine that's in there. That'll help aerate it. That'll help bring the flavor out even more.
Gentlemen, this is a dumb question. And by the way, you're listening to Uncorked, our first episode with Sal Carfagna, also our wine expert. He works in the wine shop. Tom. Tom, what's your last name, by the way?
Levering, Levering.
All right, Tom. One thing I've always wanted to know, and I guess I just didn't ask, but we're here to get educated at Carfagna's. So why not just ask you guys, why the swirl? Why swirl and then smell the wine before you drink it?
Yeah, so being that's part of the process, you want to smell, you're swirling it so that the aroma will come up in the glass. You're aerating the wine and you're having the wine, its bouquet, come up out of the glass. That is the first part of the taste, is to smell. So the smell, it goes down in where you're tasting into the whole, through the mouth, through the nose, into the mouth. So
are you saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but are you saying that does the smell affect your palate?
100%.
Yes.
Wow.
Smell
I didn't know that.
is one of your your sense, your ability to smell enhances your tasting abilities. If somebody lacks that sense and they cannot smell something, it is very hard to even taste certain things as well. Those two functions, within the human senses, are intertwined with each other.
I had no idea.
So it gives you a sense right off the bat what that wine may be. Now, when you taste it, you may get a little different sensation than you did with the smell. And that's perfectly fine because there will be a little different aromas coming off of it as to what you'll actually taste when you taste it. So, but both of them together, that's the key, having them both together.
Tom, what is Prosecco, this particular one, or just in general, what does it go with best, like food-wise?
So, a lot of times I use a sparkling. You can use that at the beginning almost as a palate cleanser is a great way to go about it.
Okay.
Depending on what you've had earlier in the day or, it just kind of cleanses where you've been. Also goes good. You can have like a nice shellfish or something will go very good. One of the all-time standards for sparkling is to have some caviar. So I know that's not in everybody's realm, but the caviar is one of the mainstays always of the sparkling.
So I don't know, where are we going next? Because you got Sal Carfagna over here cutting, onions or something? Or what are you doing?
Come on, man. You're in an Italian market. Of course I'm cutting onions. So today,
I also know you're a butcher, and I don't want to mess with you. So
man with a knife. Duck. No, but we're today on the podcast, you guys, we're going to be talking about our pizza. And to start off the pizza, we're going to be making a pizza sauce recipe. This pizza sauce is a very basic one. And the reason that I like that, I always tell people, especially with red sauces, less is more. So the true Italian recipes in Italy, I have been told this by an Italian who's also engaged to my sister. Shout out to Edgar Conchelmo and my sister Francesca. They're getting married later this year.
Okay, congrats to them.
Yes. Eddie mentioned to us that in Italy, when they make red sauce, it is either with onions or garlic, never both, with basil or oregano, never both. So it's either tomatoes, onions, basil, tomatoes, garlic, basil, tomatoes, onions, oregano, tomatoes, onions, basil.
Why never both? I hope that's not a dumb question.
I don't know.
Why? Yeah.
It's like the Ghostbusters things. You never cross the streams, right? To be honest, to me, I don't know. But we're not in Italy, right? We're at Carfagna's. We're in Columbus, Ohio. I got onions. I got garlic. I got oregano. I got basil. Sorry, Eddie. But so today we're going to be making this pizza sauce recipe. The main ingredient with this is tomatoes. You want to use a high quality tomato. We probably have 6 different DOP San Marzano tomatoes on our shelf here at Carfagna's. For those of you who don't know, the DOP is the accreditation for Italian products that basically is governed by, overseen by the government as a certification. This is telling you that these are from San Marzano, Italy. So you cannot have San Marzano tomatoes, DOP, if they are not from Italy. Now, if you see on this Prosecco, the Prosecco has a very similar label. It has a DOC label. So this is their way of policing these Italian products because they don't want this replication, right? They don't want the quality to drop. These products and all the food that comes from Italy have been developed in very specific regions, towns in Italy, and to control that, the government says that this is that pure item. This is how they have been making it for generations. It has to adhere by specific standards. It has to adhere by, for the tomatoes, by, growing, canning, everything that goes into creating this product is, controlled by the Italian government, saying that this is that tomato to ensure the highest quality in the product. Same thing with the wines. So
Sal, someone listening to Uncorked right now, I'm just thinking you're a consumer, you love Italian products. To know that you're getting an authentic, genuine Italian product, like when it comes to food and ingredients, it has to have the DOP on it. Is that right?
Now, don't get me wrong. We have some American domestic tomatoes that come out of California that are absolutely fantastic.
Sure.
Some of them are on our shelf, and you can find those. Very high quality, excellent product.
Right.
However, the DOP designation is more of a quality assurance, right? That is assuring you that this product is what you are expecting.
Okay, so it's not necessarily just from Italy then. Am I getting that right?
No, the DOP only exists in Italy.
Okay, that's what I wanted to understand.
So there was a company in California that sold San Marzano tomatoes under the San Marzano name, and they had a lawsuit against them to revoke that. They then changed their name to SM tomatoes, and we have those on our shelf. A fantastic product. Absolutely great canned tomato. You can make some excellent sauce with it. However, they cannot be called San Marzano and they cannot be called DOP because they do not originate from San Marzano, Italy, and they are not controlled by the government that oversees that production process.
Sal Carfagna is the star of this podcast called Uncorked. We're celebrating our very first episode. We have Tom with us, who you can find at the wine shop up here. I know your burner is going. I know
I'm going to start making the sauce if you don't mind.
Yeah. Let's. So you're cutting onions right now, right? Is that what you're doing?
I'm cutting some onions. This is just a white onion here. Now, when I dice these, I cut the onion in half, dissecting from the top to the bottom, leaving the root intact. This will allow me to get my uniform dice that I want. Then I go horizontally into it, and I always leave about a finger's width on, for those of you who are watching the video, where the root exists, and that'll allow me, so I go horizontally into the knife, and then I follow the ribs, the anatomy of the onion, going lengthwise around there, and then I slice cross sections. So that gives me this uniform, as you guys can see, this uniform dice that I have here. And this will allow essentially the onions to cook uniformly all the way around.
How do you not cut your fingers, Sal?
Years of practice. You always curl your fingers back when you chop. So you rest your knuckles up against the blade of the knife, and that allows your mind to know where that knife is at, and then how big you want to cut those onions. So we're gonna go into the pan here with some onions.
Here it goes. Oh, listen to that.
It's a beautiful sound. It's a good sound, almost as good as the uncorking wine bottle, right? So the first process, I'm using a little bit of olive oil. I have the Carfagna extra virgin olive oil here. This is a olive oil blend from European nations, mostly Spain and Italy, and it is a fantastic olive oil, good all-around olive oil, nice grassy notes, a little bit of pepperiness on there. I use it for my everyday cooking, salad dressing, that type of thing. This is not a very high-end olive oil that you only want to use for drizzling purposes or finishing purposes. This is your all-around extra virgin olive oil that you're going to be used for the bulk of your cooking.
Sal, it's important to say, too, that you can come into the market here and buy a lot of these ingredients, right? These products?
All of them. Everything that we are making here today has been curated by our commissary, as I like to say, from the market. So these tomatoes that we're using, they are Lavalle DOP San Marzano tomatoes. The can, I'm using a 28-ounce can here, $5.99 a piece on this can. I have the yellow onion. I have some garlic cloves, and I also have some fresh basil and oregano. All of our herbs are grown hydroponically, locally here. They are a fantastic product and high-quality herbs.
So we've got your onions. What's next? What are we working on next, Sal?
So the onions are sauteing in my oil here. And we're actually next we're going to drop some garlic in here. Now my garlic, I'm taking the cloves, I've smashed it with the flat part of my blade using the fatty part of my palm. Then I'm going to give it a nice quick little rough chop. What I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to add a little bit of salt to my garlic, and I'm actually going to make a paste. So this paste is a universal paste that I like to use. A garlic paste, a lot of recipes will say, use a teaspoon of garlic paste, and you never have it. So you run out to the market, you grab your tube of garlic paste, you use a teaspoon of it, and then it sits in your fridge forever, right?
Right.
So this garlic paste, I use 2 cloves. I've smashed them up, and now I'm just taking, the salt helps grind that paste. And so what we're doing here is we are taking the flat part of the blade of the knife. My fingers are sitting back behind that blade about a good inch. I'm pushing the blade at about a 20-degree angle into the garlic. I'm smashing it and then pulling it back with my knife. This is pulverizing my garlic, and the salt is actually help grinding it into a paste. Now I'm never scraping with my sharp point of my blade. Right here at the butcher shop, our guys sharpen these knives weekly. We are very fortunate for that. The safest thing in a kitchen is a sharp knife. The most dangerous thing in the kitchen is a dull knife. So keep care of your blades, and never scrape on your cutting board the blade facing down. Right? We want to keep that blade nice and intact for this.
Again, another thing you just taught me.
Yes,
I've been doing it wrong all these years, Sal.
Boxer, I can't tell you how many times that I have done it the same thing, and it wasn't until you really start to work with these on a daily basis, and you see how the littlest movements can affect this equipment in just a short period of time. And so keeping these things intact will only help you into the future. Now this paste is almost done here. I'm grinding this, and Boxer can tell you here what this is kind of looking like. It is.
I was just gonna say, Sal. It is looking exactly like a paste, almost like it's turning into, dare I say, don't hit me here, but an applesauce almost. That's kind of what it looks like.
No, not at all. That's a great description of this. It does kind of resemble an applesauce type of consistency. Now this paste, why I love it, it's going to just melt in the pan. Like you guys ever seen Goodfellas? When he says he used to cut the garlic so thin with the razor blade that it used to melt in the pan with just a little bit of olive oil. I mean, it really does. This paste just, and you'll see it.
You
here.
like movies, don't you?
A little bit. All right, we already got two in me, huh? I got a little Ghostbusters reference. I got a little Goodfellas reference. You know, there's a wall in our bar. If you guys ever come in, there's a wall in the back portion of the bar that has a little, I guess a montage of all these photos that we have, a collection of them from Italian movies. There's scenes from Sopranos and the Goodfellas, and the guy actually shaving the onion or the garlic. We have a drawing of it. An artist did a drawing, and then I think it was Paul Scavino, who is the actor who did that. He signed that photo, and we have that hanging up.
Oh, wow.
There's a photo of Marissa Tomei in there. There's it's a fun wall to look at. All right, so the onions, I'm waiting for these just to be a little bit translucent on here. And then once those are translucent, you add your garlic. So,
but what does that make? Look, I'm an idiot when it comes to cooking, Sal. What does translucent mean? Like, how do you know when these onions are ready, when they're sautéed?
Yeah, so great question. You're not going to have them see-through, right? It's not going to be like a piece of prosciutto cut so thin on the slicer that you can see through it. No, it's going to be slightly translucent. You just want a little bit of translucency. You don't want that white opaque look in your onions. You want them to be to really, really kind of just be able to soften up and to look. You don't want to burn your onions either. So and that's the key on also why you are adding your garlic afterwards, because your garlic cooks so fast, right? And when you cook your garlic, you just want to cook it enough to where you get the aroma. So you have your onions first, you're sautéing those, you're allowing them to soften up, right? So that you don't have a fresh piece of onion in your sauce. You want those nice, soft, you want that opaqueness to come down, a little bit of translucency in there. Then you're going to add your garlic. Your garlic, literally cook it until it's fragrant. We're talking like 60 seconds at most, right? So you're going to put that garlic in there, and especially when you have a paste like this, it really does, it cooks in no time. So you're going to drop that garlic in there and allow it to be fragrant, like I said, 30, 60 seconds or so, and then we'll add the tomatoes.
All right.
So for the sake of the podcast, I don't know if people can't see this, right? But we're getting there. It's not quite the translucency that I want. Again, we've only probably had these onions in for maybe about 60 seconds or so. So
well, that's a really good point, Sal. How long does it normally take? Because we don't have the wonders of obviously TV right here, but what does it usually take for them to finish?
Yeah, I'll probably say about like 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
It doesn't take a lot of time, and believe me, they can get away from you real quick. So you want to keep a nice watchful eye on the onions as they're sautéing, and make sure that number one, you're not burning them, and number two, that when they're ready to go, you're putting them you're putting the garlic in.
If they burn, Sal, does that mean it's too late and you have to start over again?
You don't. I do. If you're ever burning the garlic, the onion, a little bit of a browning on there is fine. But if you're starting to get a char, like a carbonated black, carbon kind of crust on them, I would suggest starting over. And the reason being is it's going to create a bitterness through the sauce that you just don't want. Garlic especially, if you're burning your garlic, it will create a highly bitter flavor that produces from it, and it's something that you do not want. So again, Always grab 2 onions, right? Always have one backup just in case of emergencies, or we need to add some onion for whatever reason or whatnot. Always have an extra spare of onions on you.
Well, Sal, we can keep an eye on that. Is there something else you want to move to quick that we could talk about? Are we almost there?
Let's segue into the pizza dough here.
Okay, that's great.
Because this is what we're making, right? We're making pizza, pizza sauce. We're going to be talking about our pizza development process here today. Over here, we have some pizzas. We have a pepperoni pizza. We have a stromboli. If you guys want to, you can go over and grab a slice while we're talking about this.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So for those of you listening, our pizza dough has been a long process coming. Our restaurant opened in 2007, and in the early 2000s, for many, many years, my father, Sal Carfagna, developed this dough in a long, enduring process. And I got to reap the benefits along with my siblings. There was a time when we were at our house, and my dad had a garage refrigerator that had nothing but empty pasta sauce jars filled with fermenting dough in it. And my friends would come over and be like, "What is going on? What is your dad doing? What is he making here?" And it was so funny. But we also got to experience, the pizza dough process. And so we would have many pizza parties. My dad was working tirelessly for many years trying to find the right recipe and the right process on this pizza dough. And what makes it so unique? Well, guys, the pizza dough is a long fermentation process. It takes about 24 hours for it to ferment. It's a slow fermentation.
Okay.
And the reason for that is the flavor of the dough. The yeast creates a very unique flavor when you allow that to happen.
Yeah.
So a 24-hour yeast fermentation. The flours too. He was experimenting with all different types of flours, imported flours, local flours, different types of flour. Not just an all-purpose flour, but using the Tipo 00 from Italy, using malt barley, which he actually landed on was adding some malt barley to the dough recipe, and that creates another added level of flavor as well. So again, we're talking about a 24-hour fermentation process on this dough. Ferments for 24 hours, and then we make the dough the following day.
Sal, how long did it take him to get it right? After all that experimentation, how long did it finally take?
Oh man, that's a good question. It was a solid few years, Boxer. I'm not gonna lie. It was.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys take over. I'm gonna. Oh, this is delicious. Tom, we can't understand you, but we know what you mean.
Mumble into the mic next time, Tom.
It's so good. It is so good. Sorry, my mouth
No,
was
it's okay, Tom. I feel you. This is so good. You have any job openings, Sal? I don't know what I would do here, but
yeah, no, we do. We do. On this location alone, there's nearly 200 total employees, part-time and full-time people. We are always hiring. We can stick people in on a number of different locations. Whatever your passion is, if you want to learn more about cheese, if you want to learn more about wine, you have that strong customer service aspect about you. We are customer service first type of business, and we really do hold that near and dear to our hearts. And that again is a differentiator for us, is the level of customer service that we instill in our people and try to get them to adhere by, because it is so important. Why do people come to Carfagna's Market, right? Why do they, instead of going to their other grocery stores or anywhere else? And I tell our employees it's because of partially because of you guys, right? It is because of the care that you guys give into not only your product but the customers. It's the level of customer service that you bring, and that has been instilled in us from my great grandfather, our founder of the company. He instilled that in my grandfather. He instilled that in my father, and then myself as well, and we try to, preach that on a weekly basis. And Tom can sit here and can attest that it's one of the main points that when we talk at our weekly huddles and meetings and whatnot, that that's at the utmost importance is customer service.
Number one.
Does Carfagna's have a motto or a mission statement? I mean, you just talked about customer service, Sal, but you've been around since, 1937? Is that right?
The company, yeah. The company was founded in 1937.
It's such a rich history, and not many companies, not many family businesses can sit here and say that. You realize you're truly at this point, one of the oldest family Columbus businesses here.
Yes, we're very fortunate for that, Boxer. Blood, sweat, and tears, year in and year out, it is a battle to just really, keep in business and stay in business and providing that level of care to our customers and the products as well. There's a number of different phrases that we adhere by here. The customer is always right type of thing. You never say no. You always give them an option, right? If there's something that's not available, if we don't have something, let them know that we can order it. We can do special orders for people.
Yeah.
Offer them a different comparable product. Never just tell a customer no directly. It doesn't happen all the time, right? We're all humans and mistakes happen. But, these talking points are things that we really, really try to adhere by so that all of our customers have that same experience, right?
Yeah.
And our people are taking care of them properly.
So how's it going with what do we have here with
we dropped the tomatoes in.
Yeah.
The tomatoes are in the sauce. We also dropped our herbs. So we do have a blend of fresh oregano and basil. Yeah, it's a fantastic smell. One of my favorite smells is that onion and garlic and olive oil. Just, that some cooking's going on when you can smell that. In the pasta department, Vinny Susie will make a roasted garlic ravioli. And whenever he's making the filling for that, it is just one of the best aromas when you walk into the market and you can just smell this giant pot of garlic being roasted in olive oil. It permeates the entire building.
You're listening to Uncorked. We're celebrating our very first episode of this fantastic new podcast. When we originally had pitched this to Sal, I had always been drawn to Carfagna's, not just as a customer, but fascinated with the family, fascinated with the history and all the good they do in this wonderful community of ours in Central Ohio. So when Sal gave it the green light, and I knew it had to be Sal to be the star of this podcast and to really host this, I'm just the guy to keep it coming along and moving to the next thing. But Sal, I'm so glad we get to do this and we get to talk about the different things that Carfagna's does. I mean, look at us. We're eating pizza. We're drinking Prosecco, other wines. I mean, Tom's already drunk. I mean, this is great.
Fun stuff, man. What a way to start the day, right?
I know, first episode. I got to call it Uber after this.
It's a job requirement.
Yeah.
No, it's such a great celebration. I look forward to, future episodes, and we're going to get to that. I know we have Cannoli talk coming up in just a little bit.
That's right.
But I'm just so grateful especially with your family history. And
well, likewise, Boxer. You guys are the ones who brought this idea into fruition, and we can't thank you guys enough. Going back to this pizza. So we talked about the dough. We talked about that long fermentation. We talked about the process, the history, all the pizza parties that my dad used to host. And
by the way, did you ever get used by your friends like, hey, Sal, you got pizza tonight? Can we come over?
No, but I did have to trade a few of my lunches here and there. It was always a big old Italian sub there that I was fortunate enough that my dad would make me some days and be like, oh, Sal, you give me half of that. You can have my entire hot lunch,
You come home to Mom, they're only using me for my food, for pizza.
Yeah, right.
No.
Okay, so the pizza. So we talked about the dough. We're making the sauce. Now, this sauce is very similar to how we make it here. Now, we have a manufacturing facility that is, they're there's probably about 10 people that are employed there, and they
Okay.
make all of these products that we get to enjoy. They are the ones who make this pizza crust on a daily basis.
Amazing.
They are the ones who make all of our pasta. Well, I shouldn't say that, because now we're actually moving that production solely into the market. So the market will be the house of all pasta production, but they make all the sauce. Our pasta sauce and our pizza sauce, we sell over 500,000 jars annually all throughout the United States. And we are now fortunate enough to be in nearly 30 states. We're in 29 different states across the U.S. So people are liking the flavor. People are liking the brand, the product as well.
So you're in other grocery markets then? You're another, am I getting that right?
In Central Ohio, we're in Kroger's. We are in...
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Giant Eagles. You might find us in some Whole Foods. You might find us in I'm blanking on the other one, but
No, that's all right.
but we actually just are in Costco now. So if you are a Costco member, you'll see our sauce at a fantastic deal over there. That was a long time coming, and we are now proud to be offered a 2-pack sauce at Costco.
Congratulations.
And not to mention, obviously, the sauce is here. Now, why would you buy the sauce here if you can get it at other grocers? Well, all throughout Lent, culminating at Easter. So if you're listening to this live, or if you're listening to this before Easter, come in and get a jar of sauce right now. It's save $1 on all of our sauce jars. That's the first deal. Number two, every jar of sauce. This is an all-day, everyday promotion. Every jar of sauce, you get a free pound of pasta with. So it's a Fabinelli brand pasta. You get a free pound of pasta with every jar of sauce that you get. And then if you buy 6 jars or more, you get the case discount. And the case discount is 10%. So you can mix and match those cases. If you want to, get a variety of sauces, you'll get the 10% off, and then you'll also get 6 pounds of pasta. So, stock up and save is how we always like to tell people. The case deal and the free pasta deal, again, are all day, everyday savings. So if you do shop our pasta sauce here in the market, you get to take advantage of a couple of those promotions.
Sal, that's incredible, Sal. So you have sauces, you have pasta, you have dough. What else are you, when you come into the market specifically, what are you making that's in-house? What other stuff?
Making in-house is, 90% of everything is literally all made here. All of our prepared foods, that's all developed here in-house by our catering team. Those people have been with us for over 20 years.
Oh, your catering team is amazing.
Yeah, we were actually proud to be the winners of the top catering company here in Columbus. That was C-Bus's top picks, I think, through the Dispatch.
Was that last year, 2023? Yep.
2023, yep. So kudos to all of them and the fantastic job that they do. But again, all the prepared foods is made by them here in-house, and that is a daily process that they're making new items and sticking them out in our cases for you. All of our meat is hand-cut fresh daily, and that's one of the biggest differentiators from us, is that this is not cut at some manufacturing facility, and packed up there and then boxed up, and all of our staff has to do is just slack it out. No, it's not gas flush. It's not anything. All of our steak is hand cut fresh daily by our butchers. They come in very early in the morning. They're breaking down the meat. They're making all the different cuts, and our grinds too. We grind hourly. All of our fresh ground product is literally fresh ground. No tube meat. It is whole muscles. So our ground chuck is literally a whole piece of chuck that we are grinding whole. All of our ground beef, those are whole muscle pieces, and then we incorporate our steak trimmings in there with it to create our ground beef. We have ground sirloin, we have ground round. All of those grinds are again, they're made hourly. And then the sausage is also made hourly.
Yeah.
We probably make about 700 pounds of sausage weekly. That's about 2,100, over 2,000 links each week. And that's, again, that's a conservative mark. We probably go through more than that. We got about 10 different flavors of sausage. My dad was the one who developed all the flavors, except for one, Grandpa's recipe, which is a fantastic recipe.
Speaking of recipes, how closely guarded are your recipes? Oh, because if you go to your website, you have some of them posted, actually.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned this. it's locked up in a safe box, or you can't see them. No, I'm kidding. But they are family recipes. And if you guys know Italians, we are super stubborn about our recipes, right? And hold them near and dear to our hearts. However, a lot of these things, it's no secret, right? A lot of people know how to make a marinara sauce. It's more so the process. So this pizza sauce, right? We're kettle cooking it. And this is kettle cooked for 3 hours minimum. And that is a process for all of our sauces. Why does our sauce taste different? It's literally because we kettle cook it for 3 hours. It is a slow cook process. Wow. All those flavors concentrate, and we always say it tastes like grandma's because it literally is. It is kettle cooked at our facility for minimum 3 hours. Same thing with the pizza sauce. So again, going back to this pizza, we had the dough, the sauce, kettle cooked, small batch, all of that, right? Exactly how you would make it at home, and then we put it in a jar and we sell it. However, the toppings on these pizzas is also unique. The toppings, we only use Old World pepperoni, which has a natural casing on there, so that's what gives it that cup and curl aspect to it, and the nice crunch, the nice crispy pepperonis.
I was going to say the crunch. Oh,
and
yummy.
And the cheese too. A lot of pizza shops will use mozzarella or a blend or cheese that might have like a filler or something. Our cheese, we use 100% provolone, and that is it. You know, it is not a blend. It is, we do that because it creates an added level of sharpness to the cheese, and we don't want to cut any quarters on our pizza, especially. It creates a unique flavor. You know, we were testing all different cheeses. You know, just mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, blend, just provolone. The 100% provolone won. You know, over and over. It was a unanimous decision that we have to use 100% provolone. Yeah, there is a cost associated with that, but again, we want to bring that product, the highest quality to our guests.
So when do we get to try this sauce I'm eyeballing here, Sal?
Shortly.
Shortly?
If you looking, you ain't cooking.
I know also coming up we have we still have the cannoli story, right?
Yes,
the cannolis
yeah.
and your history there.
Yeah, and we mentioned before that there's a little bit of a connection with our pizza and our cannoli.
Yeah.
So the cannoli is a family recipe. This was developed many years ago by a family member. Her name was Filomena Militello. That was my great aunt Phyllis. Phyllis was my dad's aunt. That was my grandfather's sister. She created the cannoli recipe. It took off so well that we couldn't keep up making the shells anymore. So we have to outsource the shells now because we don't have a fryer, number one, deep enough. And we can't keep up with the production on that. So we found a shell that is almost identical to ours. Nice, crispy, crunchy shell. It has that little bit of cinnamon touch, that added level of sweetness to it. It is a fried cannoli shell, so you get this excellent texture on there. But the true recipe is on the inside, right? It is a ricotta-based filling. If those of you who are unaware of cannoli, it is demi-sweet, right? It is not a fully sweet cream. This is a heavy ricotta-based, and then there's the powdered sugar that's added to it, a couple other ingredients, and it creates this beautiful, beautiful texture that is delicate, slightly sweet, just a wonderful, wonderful dessert. So are you ready to try some?
I am ready. I've been ready, Sal.
So why do the cannolis and the pizza intertwine?
That's what I want to know.
It's because of my great aunt Phyllis. So Phyllis,
really?
Her last name I mentioned, she married Vince Militello. So the Militello family had the Militello Macaroni Company. That was one of the first of its kind in Central Ohio. They were food distributors. They brought in a lot of the imported pastas that we see on the shelf today. They were the first ones to bring that in, but they were the first pizza supply distributing company in Central Ohio. So they were integral in the pizza boom, as we like to call, in the 50s and 60s, where all these local pizza shops were all opening up. They were an integral part in the being the city's first pizza supply distribution company. So the pizzas, right, from the Militello family, all of these ingredients that we have that we enjoy today are a lot of that, like the cheese and the pepperonis were still from those companies that created them, that we brought into the city and that the Militello family supplied the whole city with. And our pizzas today have a little bit of Militello, history with it. And, shout out to my dad's cousin, Vince Militello, Vince Jr., who is revered as the pizza god at the Italian festival. He does all of the festival pizza for the church at the Italian festival, which is always the first week of October. If you guys are listening, keep a lookout for the Italian festival. And
Carfagna's is takes great pride in being a part of that, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah. Yes, we do. All proceeds benefit the St. John the Baptist Church. It is a community event for all Italians in the city, and we take a great deal of pride in being a part of that festival year in and year out. So again, the pizza and the cannolis has that connection through Phyllis Militello. And
look at those cannolis. I mean, that's artwork right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wow.
So the cannolis, for those of you who don't know, the dough traditionally is made by wrapping a round piece of dough around a wooden dial, and then they fry those in oil. They remove the wooden dials, and you have this tube of nice, crispy, flaky dough. Then we take a piping bag and we pipe in our cannoli filling.
Are you wanting me to try one of these, by the way?
By all means, sir.
Oh, you do? It's okay?
Yes.
I'm like, Sal is holding them out. I'm like, does he want me to try one? Because I would gladly try
They're
one.
very heavy. My arm is getting tired.
Sorry, Sal. Like, I think he wants me to try one. Okay, thank you,
Tom,
Sal.
I got one for you here too, brother. Have some breakfast.
Look at this. Now, these look like, I've always wondered, and I've had these before, but they're chocolate chips on the end. Is that what do you call them?
Chocolate chips.
Just chocolate chips. I didn't know there was a fancy name or not for them. Okay.
Yeah,
look at
Piccolo Cioccolato.
Look at you over there.
But
sounds like a kid in a candy store.
I know, right? Get that crunch in there.
Yeah. Oh my. Listen to that crunch. So, Sal, I'm assuming if you don't get the crunch, you probably don't have a good cannoli.
Cannolis are very perishable. I always recommend people. I always ask if they're buying a cannoli, when are you serving them? These cannolis, the shell on them is a nice hearty crust or hearty shell, and that will last for a solid 24 to 48 hours. But I always tell people the fresher the better. So if you come in, just ask to get them, piped fresh, and we'll make cannolis, custom cannolis too. We have a number of different fillings. We have a pistachio filling, a strawberry filling, chocolate filling, and a peanut butter filling. Then we also have shells. If you are, let's say you're gonna enjoy them, in a couple days or so, but you're here today and you want to get them, I always recommend people to get the chocolate dipped shells, because a chocolate dipped shell will actually preserve it a little bit longer. So that shell, that chocolate that's dipped into the shell that's dipped into the chocolate will act as like a barrier, right? And the ricotta will not, make the shell soggy.
Yeah.
Right? It'll keep it nice and crunchy. And then if it's Buckeye season, get the chocolate dip shell and get the peanut butter filling in there. Get yourself a Buckeye cannoli.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, no.
We are Columbus, Ohio, born and raised. Of course we do a Buckeye cannoli.
The Buckeye connection right there. Hey, tell us about the filling.
Sure, the filling, a ricotta-based filling, so ricotta cheese, fresh cheese product. It's a very basic recipe. If you guys look up a cannoli recipe online, look for one that has a ricotta-based cannoli filling. Some of them will have almost like a Bavarian cream or like a sweet cream on there. That's not ours. This one is a ricotta-based. There's a little bit of seasoning in there. That's our secret little touch. I'll leave that up to you to see if you can do that. So yes. So the cannoli filling is a very simple recipe, but it is a very delicate process. The ricotta cheese is the most important ingredient, and we source that from a very special cheese producer that creates this cheese for us, and it brings out the highest quality.
I was going to say, Sal, one thing we've talked about in the past, not on this podcast quite yet, is don't you work with local farms around here? Did I get that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always tell our customers that when you shop Carfagna's, you're not only supporting our families, the people who work here, and the local small businesses, but you're supporting a community of small businesses, both local and international. So a lot of our business partners are family owned and operated. They are small business, and they are both local and international. Let's take our bakery, for example. Our bakery partners with local Aldino's bakery, the family Aldino family here in town. Stan Evans is a local baker that we have here. We partner with Mediterra, that is a family-owned and operated bakery based out of Pittsburgh. They make fantastic artisan breads. We also partner with Orlando Bakery. Orlando is a Cleveland-based bakery, and they come down on a daily basis to deliver their fresh breads. So you're talking about a number of different in the bakery just alone. Then the cookies, right? Our cookies.
All the cookies.
My sister, God love her, she probably makes, 70% of all the cookies in that case.
Oh.
But we found some very high quality cookies coming out of Italy. Again, a family owned and operated business in Italy that makes all these cookies that we import from Italy. We also partner with a bakery in Westerville that creates Angie's Rainbows cookies, if you guys have ever heard of Angie's. And then we also have Dolce Amore, which is up in the Cleveland area, a gentleman named Gaetano who comes down. He makes all these cookies in his home, and he distributes those all across Ohio. And you can also find those cookies here at Carfagna's as well.
Yeah, you've raved about his cookies, haven't you? His
biscottis are, I think, some of the best that I've ever had. They're not double baked, so they have that nice soft,
Yes.
cookie aspect to it,
Yeah.
right? It's a great dunking cookie in your coffee, but you're not going to cut up your mouth, eating it like a Cantucci, like chocolate dip Cantucci or something like. So it is a slightly soft. It's not like a very soft cookie, but his biscottis are just fantastic.
Yeah.
So hey, I know that we're starting to run short on time. Let's get into these wines a little bit.
Yeah, let's.
Let's do wines.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's do some wines. Let's wrap up this first episode. Let's finish off with a bang here. And for you guys listening, the first wines that we're going to be featuring are our private label wines. These are our house wines at Carfagna's. The history behind these things, a long time coming. We have had a long process of trying to find, number one, a high quality grape, but a wine producer that can produce these for us. The first ones that hit was our Italian red blend.
Yeah.
And then this white, the Carfagna's Pinot Grigio. These are both from Italy. These are produced in Italy. They're made with Italian grapes. The red blend, I will have Tom talk about the grapes in that one.
The red one is a Cannoli grape. It comes from Sardinia. Both of them are Italian. The Pinot Grigio is from the Veneto area in the northeast. It's clean, crisp, has a little bit of melon, a little bit of, it's kind of semi-dry is where I put the taste on. Very refreshing.
Tom, what would that go well with? What would you, for that one, Pinot Grigio?
Yeah, so you can have that with a lot of fish.
Okay.
Something that is not too much. You can also do like salads with this. It'll go well. Also go nice right by the pool.
There you go. See, Tom, I knew I loved you for a reason.
Nice Caesar salad with some grilled chicken on it. Be a fantastic.
There you go. Yeah.
Perfect. And then the Italian red blend, the House Carfagna, it's a Cannoli grape, and it's the tannins are very relaxed. It's an easy drinking red. It's the kind of bottle that you pick up and go, who else is drinking this? Because it goes away really fast. These two bottles have been around about 7 years or so. So they have quite the following at this point. And they were the first bottles that came into the Carfagna family. We have some other bottles that are also Carfagna wine. They're actually bottled by Casa di Carfagna is actually who produces them. But they're wines that we have made for us from Mendocino County. This is the second level of these wines. There's a Columbus cab It's obviously a Cabernet Sauvignon, full-bodied. There's some dark fruit to it. Very flavorful, smooth, fun to drink. We also have a Downtown Zen, and this is a Zinfandel. It's about 8% Petite Syrah in there, which gives it a little bit of a purplish root to it. Also very flavorful, has some nice fruit right up front. Tannins are very relaxed, smooth, easy drinking wine. And then coming up is rosé season. Rosé all day.
What is rosé season? From when to when?
So it's not a dedicated time. It's just as the weather warms up. Then it tends to be more people drink a little white, drink a little more rosé. So rosés are not wines that you put on your shelf and you hang out for years. These are wines that are meant to be drank. So each year we call it a rosé season because we'll get a more influx of rosé wines. This one is a Grenache. It also is from Mendocino County, California. This is super refreshing. This is definitely the pool wine, sitting by the pool.
Guys,
patio pounders.
Patio pounder. Patio pounder. And the labels are really interesting on this as well. Sal, do you know the story on these labels?
Yeah. So the labels on the series, we have annual series of these wines, these private label wines. These are the ones that come from California. The labels on the Italian, the red blend, and the Pinot Grigio, they stay consistent. Okay, so these do not change. These are year in, year out, and these wines are the same wines as Tom mentioned about 7 years ago. The other wines that he mentioned, each year we come out with with different bottles on these. And my brother Luciano is the artist. If you ever come into our market, you go in the restaurant, all of the artwork that's on the walls is made by Luciano. He's a fantastic, very
Did he do
talented.
that behind us? That picture?
No, he did not. That is
of course, I would have to ask that.
That is a print on canvas. But the room next to us is a mural of our hometown, Vassar Girardi, and he did do that
I've
one.
seen that. Okay.
Yes. And all of the artwork in the restaurant area, in the dining area, is made by him,
Very
and all
talented.
the artwork on the bottles. So on here, we'll look at the Columbus
that.
cab. He has a background in architecture, and so a lot of his artwork is centered around architecture. So this downtown cab,
beautiful.
the Columbus cab has a scenic view of downtown Columbus. It is acrylic on canvas. He utilizes palette knives a lot in his artwork, and it's a still image of looking from the Scioto Bridge over downtown. It is a beautiful painting, and the Downtown Zen is actually a view from his apartment when he lived on Gay Street.
Look at that.
Looking down Gay Street from there, and that was a painting that he did on his balcony.
And Sal, it looks like it's the Levesque Tower in the background. Is that right?
Yep, you got that. That's the Levesque Tower right there. That's the Downtown Zen.
So talented.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's that wine especially is a big fan favorite. I think because of the fruit forwardness on Zinfandel, the dryness that's attached to it, right? It's a very nice all around wine that people really tend to gravitate to. If they're not looking for something as bold as a Cabernet Sauvignon, they want something a little bit lighter, a little bit more complex. The Petite Syrah on there definitely adds a level of complexity that creates it a nice all-around medium to full-body wine. And then the Giardino di Rosé, that is actually a portrait on there. So for those of you listening, the label is actually a rose garden that his wife Laura was walking in, and he took that picture and then recreated it, a portrait of her. So that is her, I guess, silhouette type of montage, you know, and or homage.
Is that where's that?
Yeah, I think it was Oregon.
Oregon, okay.
And that's that. So her walking through the Garden of Rose, the Giardino di Rosé. So Giardino in Italy, or in Italian, is garden, and then obviously rosé. So those are our private labels.
I'm so glad you explained that,
Yeah,
Sal.
yeah.
No, because you know, a bottle of wine could be just a bottle of wine, but then when you hear the meaning behind like even the labels. So the next time you stop into Carfagna's or the wine shop and you see that, that just takes it to a whole new level, I think, which is why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Education, right? A little sneak peek, a peek behind the curtains, right? Of our business and the products that people absolutely love in the city, and learning more about them, right? And that's kind of why we do these podcasts and have fun talking about it.
Absolutely. You know, and I realize we packed a lot of info into this first one. However, you know, we've got more episodes that are coming throughout the year, and we're excited about probably zeroing in on specific things, whether it's cooking, whether it's having Tom back in and talking more about wine, the market. So we're excited. We've got a lot to do.
Absolutely. Before we sign off, these pizzas, you guys, are available now in our restaurant 7 days a week. So we are now open on Sundays. The Sunday hours are 11 to 5. That coincides with our hours in the market on Sunday, which is 10 to 5.
Yeah.
And the pizza is available all day. The other thing to mention is on Sundays, we are now offering a family meal. Our family meals, which were only takeout only, we're now offering those on Sundays from 11 to 2. The most popular one has been the chicken parmesan family meal. You get a big old plate of spaghetti, enough to share between 6 to 8 people. And there is, enough chicken parmesan on there as well. So the giant platter of spaghetti with chicken parmesan laid all over top of it. It's a beautiful presentation and meant to share as with a group of people. But again, we're very proud to announce that our Sunday hours are now open in the restaurant, 11 to 5.
I could make love to your chicken parmesan. Just want to let you know.
Well, just, whatever you do, wash your hands.
On that note, well, look, for more on the wine, because look, every episode will probably have wine and food, but specifically, Tom, since we went so extensively on wine, where can we get more info on the wine? Probably just the website, or could come in. What's best?
So you can look online,
Carfagnas.com.
Okay. You can email me, tom@carfagnas.com. If you're looking for information, I can send it to you.
Great.
We definitely have pamphlets, and we will talk you through it. You walk into the wine shop here, we'll be more than happy to go through it with you. And we'll walk you through the aisles if you want to learn about some wine or look for some wine. We have wines all different. If you want $10 wine, we have some of those. If you're 25, 50. You want to buy an $1,800 bottle of Harlan? Well, I'll unlock the cabinet for you and show it to you.
With a security
all
guard.
Different levels. Yeah, we'll be happy to walk you through all that stuff.
Well, Tom, and I want to personally thank you. I have been to some stores in my past where I don't want to call the people stuffy, but the people that work there sometimes can be intimidating. You are very approachable, very knowledgeable, and very friendly. So, and of course you are. You're at Carfagna. So,
well, it's important. We don't. We're not here to be pretentious and talk over the heads of everybody. We want to talk to you on a normal level. Wine is not snooty to us. Wine is here to be enjoyed, to tell stories, eat good food, drink good wine, and have a wonderful day. That's our outlook.
That's right. We have a new episode coming, episode 2, very soon. In the meantime, you can go to carfagnas.com for, everything from catering to the market to the restaurant. Sal, I don't know if you have anything else to wrap up with, but I did want to ask too, what's a good, we're going to, wait.
Well, I think before we sign off, let's taste this pizza sauce that we made.
Let's do it. Let's taste the sauce.
It's been simmering on the stove. Not quite 3 hours. But we'll get a nice little flavor profile on these. I have some tasting spoons right here next to you, Boxer.
That's right. Okay. Well, let's do this.
You can grab that.
Let's do this. Let's get my microphone cable here. We'll bring it over.
We'll sign off on this tasting, right? We'll taste the sauce and we'll adjourn.
And that's just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did the wrong thing here. Here we go. Yeah. I was going to take the big spoon, right?
You can. I don't know. It'd be a little difficult to taste.
Sal, in your culture, for Italian culture, what's a good phrase or word to sign off on that we could use every week, maybe?
Mangia bene, eat well. Yeah, that's what it is.
Mangia bene?
Mangia bene.
Maybe we could all say that together. How are you doing, Tom?
Or if you want to be cynical with it, they always say in bocca al lupo. That means good luck. Like in a cynical type way, but it's not a very good sign off, right?
I was going to say,
Yeah, it's just
that's
more so
not real
fun.
convincing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so good.
All right, good.
Oh, this is delicious. Can I just take the whole thing home?
Be my guest. Sorry, I was reaching for a spoon.
No, it's okay. I would have gotten you one, buddy. Oh.
That's
Oh.
nice. Nice fresh taste on there. This would only get better over time. So the tomatoes on there are still, I would say I like these to be cooked down a little bit more of a roast flavor on those tomatoes on here. Now, it depends on your flavor profile, but believe me, by all means, if you want that nice, fresh tomato flavor, this is ready to go.
And I can taste them all. And
Yeah.
I'm not a big onion guy, by the way, but I can taste it all, and it's delish.
Good. Thank you.
Mouth-watering. All right, well, this is a wrap for our first episode of Uncorked. I want to thank, of course, our main host and our superstar, Sal Carfagna. Tom, bring it in, man. You were amazing with your wine. Big thanks to our entire crew, Alex, of course, John Segrest, who helped put this whole thing together. Our engineering, I'm Boxer. How do we wrap up this again? What's that
Boxer,
phrase?
thanks for keeping us on track.
I don't know about that.
Sidetracked a little bit. It's
easy to do.
Just wanted to shout out to you.
Oh, well, this has been a lot of fun. Looking forward to the next episodes, that's for sure.
Absolutely, you guys. Thank you, Columbus. Thank you for listening. And mangia bene.
Mangia bene.
Cheers.